Hello and good morning. So, first proper running test in lovely Blean Woods, just on the outskirts of Canterbury. It's a nice wintry day, not too cold, a bit windy, but I'm here in the middle of the trees, so it doesn't really matter. So, took it out for the first time running today. I have been using it to track my cycling, my commutes to work during the week. Not a massive amount of problems with that. As you can see, I've done already 2k, just taking it nice and slow today. This has a nice interesting feature, which is it inverts the contrast once it's paused. So if I press start, it will come back to the normal contrast, so you can gauge very easily if it's on or off. It also has an auto pause feature, so it beeps if it's paused. It detects if I'm moving or not, but that's quite useful. Heart rate monitor seems to be working fine. I had a couple of interesting experiences with it, because obviously, as I told, first and foremost, I'm a rower, and I couldn't wait to try it actually on the rowing machine to see how the heart rate was tracked. Obviously I knew no movement would be tracked, but at least the heart rate would. And it's a bit strange. I think it has to do with the fact that I'm pulling, so the watch gets dislodged in my hand and gives me some incorrect readings, because I did intervals, sprints, and my heart rate was pretty much constant on 120, which shouldn't really be happening. Apart from that, whilst running, it's absolutely fine, and the altimeter is really nice, so it gives me a very accurate reading of the altitude and the grade. I've analyzed my altitude profiles during my bike commutes to work, and they are really smooth. With the Garmin I couldn't get that, but then again the Garmin is only taking in GPS readings, not actual barometric altimeter readings. And I can say, I mean, I'm gonna get home and download this and have a look, but the GPS is pretty accurate. Just looking at my GPS traces from my bike commutes, the corners are really smooth, and I can really see that I'm cycling on the left hand side of the road. It's that precise. With the Garmin it was more of a hit and miss kind of thing. Sometimes it was a bit better than others, but this one is pretty sensitive, and it also locks up the satellites pretty quickly. I mean, I've heard people saying, oh yeah, you can put a GPS and that only lasts about 2 hours to get the satellites, but I haven't done anything like that, and it's locking in about 30 seconds, maybe less sometimes. Again, with the Garmin it was a bit of a hit and miss. This one is pretty quick and works well. The only grudge I have so far is really syncing it with the phone. The computer is absolutely fine, it's really quick, but with the phone I've already messaged some people on our Facebook group of the Running Watch testers, and it seems like it's a issue specific to Android, not iOS. iOS is absolutely fine. So I'm gonna see if I can test it a bit further, but it syncs once and then it stops syncing, so that's gonna be something I'm gonna have to look into. Anyway, gotta go. Still have a few kilometers to run, and the weather is turning a little bit, so I think I should better crack on. Another interesting feature is that it graphically shows me in what heart rate zone I am, so I can see and I can control this. It's also very configurable, so one can change the heart rate limits to suit one's ability. It's very flooded, very muddy. Haven't been running here for a while, but nice. At least it's not raining and it's not icy. So another interesting thing about the watch is its tapping feature, which relies on the internal accelerometer that the device uses to measure, amongst other things, stride. It also allows you to use in the on a treadmill, so you can use it to estimate your distance even when you don't have a GPS signal. But the tapping feature is particularly handy. Imagine this scenario: you're running, God, it's very puddly. So you're running and it's dark, and you okay, which one is this one? Yes, sorry, where was I? Yes, so you're running and it's dark, you don't see very well, you want to change between the different data fields, you want to turn the light on, but you just don't want to be looking for the buttons. And because this has the accelerometer, you can just tap like that and you can cycle between the screens. This action is configurable, so you can have either the cycling between screens, you can turn the light on or off, and you can also set a lap. I would like to have an option of doing the cycling between screens and turning the light on, if that's not too much to ask, because you can only have one or the other. But apart from that, it's a pretty nifty feature, because you don't really want to be looking for the buttons in the dark. It's very distracting, and you might do like me and collide with a tree or slide away in this very muddy terrain. Oh goodness. Ugh. Oh Jesus, this is very muddy. Definitely was a bad choice. Right, that's all I had for you today. Stay tuned for my next videos.